Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Taylor and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make what I call my pour over poncho. This poncho was inspired by a pumpkin spice latte with a cold foam on top. So it is a poncho sort of construction with 4 corners. So it's really fun, super easy. You'll need to know how to double crochet in like granny cluster. I made this with 100% acrylic yarn. It is a weight 4 and I used a 9mm crochet hook to make it today. And then this white trim is Bernat Pipsqueak yarn in white, but you can also use whatever fluffy sort of halo-y yarn that you have. Before we get started, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, save it to your playlist for later. You'll find all the links in the description for my Instagram. We do a lot of crochet outfit inspo over there. You can also buy physical products on my Shopify account. This will be listed on there. And you can also connect with me on Goodreads or Fable and we can talk about books. So with all that out of the way, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so the way you're gonna wanna do this poncho is you're going to want to chain a multiple of 4 so that you can have the 4 corners of the granny stitch. So I found that for myself, chaining 60 and then doing a granny stitch increase every 15 like clusters works really well for me. So what we're going to do first is we're going to chain 60. So 1, 2, 6. And then we're going to chain 1 more at the end here, so then you will have 61. And then what we're going to do is single crochet 1 into each, and then you will have a row of 60 single crochets. All right, so we're coming to the final single crochet here. Insert that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make this into like the round. The reason I do it this way is that when I notice that if I do it from, you know, the starting chain, I always end up twisting it. It looks wrong, it ends up being wrong, and I just have to, you know, do a lot to fix that. So I'm just going to slip stitch into here. Make sure that it's not twisted. All right. And then I do always take a stitch marker just to kind of like hold it together. Could just be like an in my mind thing, but I like to, you know, hold these ends together a bit easier. See, it always just like kind of messes with my mind a little bit. Here, and then here. There we go. So now we are going to like start our granny clusters, but they're not going to look exactly like granny clusters yet. So first, I'm going to take 4 stitch markers and I'm going to count out 15 all around. Okay, so now we're going to do our first row of granny clusters. So what you're going to do is you're going to chain 3, and in this first stitch here, you're going to double crochet 2. So then you're going to have your first cluster of 3. And then for this one, you're going to skip and then insert 3 into there. And so the way that I can count this in my head is we have 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna go 4, 5, 6. Since 3 is a multiple of 15, so we're going to count to 15 essentially. So 1, 2, 3, then we go 4, 5, 6. And so you'll see there that we're gonna actually be skipping 2. So this first one, where we only skipped 1, that's going to be the only one that we end up skipping only 1. Everything else is going to end up being a skip 2. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15, where our stitch marker is, we're going to create our first corner here. So what you're going to do is double crochet 3 in the same stitch, just as we have been doing. But then you're going to chain 2 and double crochet 3 again. So 1, 2, 3. Then I am going to move that stitch marker up to the corner here. And then you're going to start back over at 1. So this one's 15, this next one is 1. So 1, 2, and then 3. 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, and 15. So we're going to make our second corner here. So again, we're going to double crochet 3 into the same spot, chain 2, and then double crochet 3 more into that same spot there. Then I'm just going to move the stitch marker up to that corner. And so see how we've created 2 corners here? And so we're just going to keep going. So again, this is 15, this is 1. So you're gonna go 1, 2, and place 3 into the same stitch on number 3. Then 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15. So we're going to do our third corner here. Double crochet 3, chain 2, and then double crochet 3 more into the same stitch. now we are on to our final corner here. So 15, 1. So 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, and then our last corner here. So here, to connect them, we're going to do something a little different. You're going to put 3 into this stitch as you have with the other corners. Take out this stitch marker, it's getting in the way. And then you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 from the beginning here. And then that is going to create your 4th corner. And so then what you're going to do is you're going to chain 3 again, then you're going to turn your work. So from here, the pattern actually becomes super easy. So we just chained 3, we turned our work, and what you're going to do is double crochet 2, and then chain 2, and then double crochet 3, and you're just starting in the corner that you just finished. So we just made our corner. You're going to granny stitch cluster in between each of the ones from the previous row. So just 3, so see how you just work in between, and then at the corners it's going to be the exact same as this one. You're just going to double crochet 3, chain 2, and double crochet 3. So I will meet you back when we're on this last row here, and I'll show you how to join the ends and how to keep going. All right, so what we're going to do on this last one is we're just going to insert those 3 and then slip stitch to the top of this chain 3 right here that we did at the beginning, and then we're going to chain 3 again, and then we're going to turn our work. And so if you notice, we're not going to be starting on the end here, we're going to just be starting doing a granny cluster. So you're just going to double crochet 2, and then keep going on your merry way. So this pattern, super easy to just keep going on and on and on. So at this point, I'm going to leave you until you get to your desired length for the poncho, and then we'll come back. We're going to do the trim, and we're going to do a little bit of the neck hole shaping. So happy crocheting, and I will see you in a bit. So once you are comfortable with the length of your poncho, just tie off your end and weave in. Right now, we're going to go into the neck shaping here, because if we put this on right now, it's going to be a pretty wide neck. If that's what you want, that's fine, but let's hop into these finishing details. So getting onto the neck hole, we're going to make a slip knot there, put it on the hook. And then it really doesn't matter where you start. I would start maybe around where you want like at the back of your poncho to be. So for me, that's going to be around this pink stitch marker here, since that, you know, that's where we originally joined our circle together. So I'm going to start right here before the pink stitch marker. I'm just going to insert my hook into where the single crochet is rather than the foundation chain. So I'm going to do that and then just crochet over that end. So then next, right in there. So when I get to the pink stitch marker here, what I'm actually going to do is single crochet 2 together. So let's take this out. So I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, and then go over to the next one, insert my hook, pull up a loop, and then I'm just going to pull through all 3 loops. And then I'm just going to continue single crocheting around until we get back to the beginning. All right, so we're coming up on the end of this first round here. So if you want to just tie off here, totally cool. I want to cinch this in just a little bit more. So instead of connecting with a slip stitch, I am just going to single crochet right on top of that first one where we reconnected the yarn. I'm going to single crochet, and then I'm going to single crochet 2 together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stitch marker from before and I'm going to put it in this first single crochet here that's marking the start of round 2. And so you're just going to single crochet 1 and then single crochet 2 together all the way around. And again, how you single crochet 2 together is you insert your hook, pull up a loop, and then insert your hook into the next one, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. So just do that all the way around until you get back to your first pink, until you get to the pink stitch marker. Okay, so as you can see, we're coming up on the end of our second row here. So I just single crocheted 2 together, and then I'm going to single crochet 1 more. And so to finish this off, I am going to slip stitch into the single crochet with the pink stitch marker. And then I'm going to chain 1 and cut off my yarn. So here is what you're going to have after you finish those 2 rows. It just kind of brings it in a little bit more, gives it a nice, crisp, clean edge. At this point, you need to weave in your ends. So I have one up here where I just tied off, and then I've got one over here from the length so that we can then put on our fun fuzzy trim. So with this is Bernat Pipsqueak in the colorway Whitey White. It is a bulky weight 5 yarn, and it does call for a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. I am just going to stick with the 9 millimeter on this one, just so it can still kind of breathe and have that sort of really fluffy halo to it. So I'm going to weave in my ends, and I will see you in a minute. So essentially what you're going to do is take your white fluffy yarn, or whatever fluffy yarn you want, and we're just going to single crochet around the outside of the neck hole here. So it really doesn't matter where you start, just stick it in and start single crocheting. Alright, so we are coming up on the end here. When you get back to your first single crochet, you're just going to insert, slip stitch it together, chain 1, and cut the yarn. So there is your furry trim on the neck, and now we're going to move on to the outside. So similar here, you're just going to start with a slip stitch, and then you're just going to insert wherever and just start single crocheting. And you're just going to place 1 single crochet into each, loop. So, 3 single crochets over the granny clusters. The reason why I did not size back down for the fluffy yarn is because if I were to do that, then it would be this big, long, drapey thing, and all of the bottom would be like scrunched, essentially, because it would pull it all together. And that's not the way I want this garment to lay. So I just decided to keep it. With some fluffy yarns, whichever one you use, you might even have to size up a hook to make sure that it will, crochet properly, and that is completely okay. That's not going to, alter the garment drastically. So we're coming up on a corner here, and so actually what you're going to do in the chain 2 corners, let's get to one. All right, so now that you're at the chain 2 corner, you're going to single crochet 3, so that it makes the corner, and then you're just going to keep going. So that's what it's going to be looking like, and I will see you guys when we get all the way around. All right, so we are coming up on the end of our faux fur, fluffy trim here. So I'm just going to keep on single crocheting until I get back to that first single crochet. And then what I'm going to do at that first single crochet is I'm going to slip stitch, chain 1, and then cut my yarn. I know that wasn't in like the close-up portion, but we, you know, just did it around the collar. I figured that you remembered. Alrighty, and there is your poncho. I know that I'm not exactly wearing the best undergarment for this right now, but I mean, you get the gist, right? It looks so good. It's gonna be perfect for this fall. So thank you so much for watching this, you guys. Don't forget to give this video a like, save it to your playlist so that you can come back and make it this fall. And please subscribe to the channel for more tutorials, crochet content, reading content, all the works. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!